Cryptillians and crypto crackheads, today is Wednesday, April 14th, 2021, and you're about to get Timified. New viewers, this channel does two things that is not done on any other crypto YouTube channel. First, what this channel does is it helps cryptillians and crypto crackheads, which if you subscribe, you get to pick your crypto pronoun, which is gender neutral, very conveniently. But it teaches cryptillians and crypto crackheads how to, one, have confidence when they click buy and when they click sell. But when you click buy, that you don't get the overall feeling that, oh, price always drops right when I click buy. Shows you how to have enter trades with a statistical probability that shit's going up from here, essentially. The second thing this does is it teaches you how to not be a buyer and prayer after seeing most YouTube videos of reviewing coins after that YouTuber probably bought it before talking about it, therefore can sell it to all of his or her viewers. I don't do that. And it converts buyers and prayers of Omi and Cardano, particularly, to people who take profits like a boss. No buying and praying, because when you take profits like a boss, not only do you become a profit pimp, which is like the evolution of a cryptillion or crypto crackhead, but you actually earn way more money than holding something that's going sky high like Theta or Omi. Relatively, you make way more money. Even if you like Omi, you sell Omi if you want more Omi. It's way more profitable, and you're going to change your life to a much higher degree if you sell a bit, as opposed to buying and holding until generational wealth happens, because that ain't going to happen. It's going to drop by more than 95% by January 2023. And watch my market cycle and crashes videos in the description section where it says library. Okay, a lot of library videos down there. All right, and that's it. So let's get going. I'm going to have to keep this shorter, so I'm still maintaining that until the middle of next week, let's say Tuesday, if this candle's week ends green and next week stays green for at least 3 days, then I will stop talking about my potential feelings, or my feelings that we're very potentially, maybe not likely, but very potentially, going to have a midterm retracement down 30+%. But I'm not gonna, get rid of that feeling and caution my viewers until that happens. Here's why. Even though I've already shown you reasons why over the last 3 weeks, but let me show you something I haven't shown you. So on the 2-week and monthly, let's see if we see any patterns with the first red candle, that essentially commences a drop. Let's see if we see anything, okay? That might be happening here, but it hasn't happened yet, okay? So before this big drop, look at that, okay? And how big of a drop was this? Right at 32%. Look at that. How big of a drop was this? Only 21%. But look at that 2-week candle. What color is it? How big's the wick? Here, the only similarity in my theory is how big the wick is. Okay, not the color. All right, let's take a look here. The monumental drop from 20,000 to 3,200. Look how big that wick is. But from that point, it dropped 33% the next month. Or the next 2-week period. These are 2 weeks. Oh no, that's the monumental drop from 14,000 to 4,000. Okay, let's take a look here. At the top of this, what color was the 2-week candle, and how big is its wick before a 35% drop down to the 21 EMA? 40% drop. And if you go to the weekly, it should be touching that yellow line. which I have way too many drawings on here. I'm sorry. I need to get rid of some of these. But that was right here. See? Perfectly touched. It's weekly, 21 EMA. Go to the 2-week. This is why I'm still being cautious and still warning my viewers that I think this, maybe it's not 50+% chance, but it's still a damn good chance this happens, folks. I'm telling you. And that damn good chance becomes a not so good chance if by, so after this candle closes on Sunday, at 8 p.m. New York time, if that next weekly candle stays green for 3 days, okay, then I'll stop talking about it because the likelihood is probably way less than 10%. But right now, I think it's still close to 50%. Maybe not over, but I still think it's huge. Anyway, look at that green candle. Green candle. Look at that candle. What color is it? How big's the wick? Look at this candle. Before how big of a drop? 39% drop. If I flip to the weekly, because I'm on the bi-weekly here, what do you think it dropped down to? Take a guess. Almost exactly to the weekly 21. Let's flip to the bi-weekly, though. Okay, the monumental drop in 2013 when it ran up to like 1187 or something, or 1180. This is the bi-weekly. What color is it? How big's the wick? So when it was racing up here, what color was it at that time? It was green. What color did it close? Red. How big's the top of the wick? Big. That one doesn't play the same thing. Look at this one. Look at this big drop. So when this very bullish candle closed, this was green the whole time. But how did it close? Red. How big was the top of the wick? Big. Seeing any patterns? Where do you think this dropped down to? If I flip back to the weekly, where do you think it dropped down to? The 21 EMA. I think this was the March drop of is right there. Yeah, so it actually went slightly below. All right, so back to the biweekly. All right, so there's a pattern here. Things like to charge up, but then flip red with a big wick. And even in the cases it doesn't flip quite red, like this doji here, it creates a long candle, then continues its correction. Charges up, a beginning of the bi-weekly attack to make everybody look bullish, and floom right in your faces. Okay? That bear market, it's not. So this candle started super bullish and floom. And then it ended up correcting pretty bigly. Okay? So this was one of the weird ones where it actually stayed green. It's more common that the top of a local high is a red. So if you go to the monthly, a similar pattern exists. Very long wick, even if it's green before the drop. Very long wick, even if it's green before the drop. This one took a weird shape. Very long wick, closed red, came all the way down to the weekly 21. This month started, so it started here. It was a big fat green candle. And then what happened? During that month, it turned around and turned red, left a big long wick, and closed red. I still think that this is very, very possible to happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. The 6th was red. So the idea that this month is going to close red, I don't know if it's probable, but it's pretty darn close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months in a row. That hasn't happened since 2012. And you saw the pattern on how the candles look on the biweekly, how it races up in the beginning of that biweekly, then slams down and closes red to start a 30-something minute drop. All right, looks like I gotta go. So my wife's wanting to leave and I gotta watch little kids. But I told you that this would be a short video. So this is why I'm still being cautious while, like teenagers are coming on my channel saying you were wrong about Bitcoin. This month hadn't closed yet. And even so, let's say this closes green. and the next month stays green, and we just keep, reminiscing 2013, just we never touch the weekly 21. It doesn't matter. I still wouldn't be wrong, because my top 3 most probable, the third one was it doesn't happen, and we keep reminiscing 2013, and we don't touch it at all. We just keep racing up. So one of my top 3 probabilities, even in the case where my top 2 don't work out, I'm not for sure if that would be listed as wrong. It's just my judgment of what was most probable, and I still listed within my top 3 of most probable what actually happened. So, and you don't have the math, but so folks coming up, like teenagers coming on the channel, you're wrong about Bitcoin. Even if you're claiming that I was wrong, that these other 2 were more probable, if you don't show me the math, then how do you know? Right? But I've already had a disclaimer that when I say most probable, it is my gut feeling when I'm trying to judge which is most probable, second most probable, third most probable, which is why I let my viewers know of multiple most probable, and to go above and beyond, I do 2 what ifs, which is typical of my channel, right? So before you come on here and say you're wrong, first off, just wait for the month to close, right? Same with Veracity and Viacoin. Just wait. If that month closes, right, see, look at that. Do you think this is going to close green? I don't think it will on Veracity. I don't think it will. All right. Let's see what the biweekly is doing on Veracity. Oh, crazy. Isn't there a trend that on the biweekly, before a big drop, the biweekly is red with a long wick? So before you come on my channel and say that stuff, first off, hold your horses for the month or the biweekly, okay? Because and second, realize that I typically offer a top 3 probabilities. Third most important, for those of you who feel obliged to come on my channel and say that stuff, which is fine. I don't delete your comments. I don't block you. I actually condone that stuff. I like smart-ass comments because I'm kind of a smart-ass myself. So I like it, and I will respond to you. So that's fine. Like, I enjoy that stuff. But, those 2 things. And then I think the third thing is, let's say even in those cases, I'm totally wrong. I'm still allowing my viewers to know 3 probabilities, 2 what ifs, because you make money off of being prepared of multiple scenarios. You do not make money off of guessing which one is the most probable, and that ends up playing out correctly. You don't make money from that. So it doesn't matter if what I thought was most probable doesn't play out. Who cares? We're all prepared for whatever happens. And we're here to make money off of trading by being prepared. So my making money, it doesn't care if I'm right or wrong. It only cares if I'm prepared for multiple scenarios that could play out. Does that make sense? So, when you come on my channel, it just means, first off, you don't either understand that concept or you watched 3 minutes and heard me say most probable and then ended the video. So, and for viewers who aren't doing that, just remember, even when I say something is most probable, definitely keep in mind the 2 other most probable and 2 what ifs, because those absolutely could play out, and you need to be prepared to make money off of all 5. Being right doesn't make you money. Well, it could, but that's not how you should bet on making money. Okay, because in trading, you don't need to be right more than 1 time out of 10, really, because you're prepared for those 9 times out of 10. Honestly, if you made 10 guesses over a year time and you're right once, you should be making money off about 8 total times, right? And it's possible that the time you don't make money is the time you didn't play right, the time you were right, because you guessed the timing slightly wrong or something, or you got over aggressive or over leveraged, right? You over leveraged yourself, if I could speak clearly, just a little too early, and then you got stopped out, got disappointed, and you were right, but you got stopped out and disappointed, and you didn't play. So it's possible that you only play 8 wrong times correctly, 1 correct time incorrectly, and then neutral, you just stayed in a no trade or whatever, right? It's completely possible that you make more money when you're wrong, because you're probably going to be wrong more than you're right, because just 1 most probable is just 1 among many, and it doesn't mean it's a 50% chance. It just means you interpret it as having a larger percentage chance than any other chance possible, which could be only 10%. because the next biggest chance is only 9%, and so on and so forth. Out of the 100 possibilities, it adds up to 100. So when I say something more is most probable, it does not mean 50%. Which relates to the thing I've been saying over and over. You need to be prepared for all. Because there's not just one case that is 50% probable. It can be most probable, but it's not probable. It's simply statistically biggest likelihood, but not probable overall in the grand scheme of things, whether it's up or down, for example. Does that make sense? All right. I might or might not make an altcoin video later today. I kind of want to see this play out before I make longer YouTube videos, because I have a feeling it's going to play out the way I've been thinking is most probable. Which is not why I didn't make a video yesterday as things were screaming up. I actually had a rougher day yesterday with dead chickens and a Doberman dog and all that stuff. So anyway, I had a rough day yesterday and T-ball practice. So anyway, so that's what I got for you today. Patrons, I'm going to start pumping a lot of Discord, tutorial and dictionary videos for you. So that'll also facilitate my YouTube videos being a little shorter. And if you decide to join Patreon at any tier over the entry tier, which is Cryptillion, please don't join until you have watched all of the library videos in the description section that you can see below. Please watch all of them on ×2 speed, and perhaps even my previous, 5 videos on ×2 speed that aren't necessarily library videos. So please watch like 10 of my videos before you join any tier above that if you want to join. It will help you get, the most out of your purchase. And also be aware that Patreon charges you immediately for the entire month of April, and then again on the 1st of May to charge you for all of May. So if you join in the middle of April, you're paying for all of April. And then on the 1st of May, you pay for all of May. So you might consider, brushing up on videos and putting on your calendar to pop on there the 1st of May, 2nd of May, or whatever. Especially if you're joining a higher tier. For Cryptillion tier, it's only like $5, not a big deal. To only get half a month out of it. But just a heads up there for folks considering joining, and, watch my library videos, my past 5 videos, ×2 speed to get through the content faster, and we'll be rocking and roll. See you later.